Uh, I don't even know if you can hear me now because as I was setting up, I wasn't able to actually hear. The microphone thing wasn't working and it was crashing, and I think my MacBook is pretty much dying. So I'm going to have to quickly have a look on my own YouTube through my phone to see if we're actually going right now. Here we go. Let me just have a look. Here we go. Let me just have a look. There we are. So it works apparently. Uh, yeah. Hi guys. Welcome to. Got a message. Ignore that. I just realised I've unplugged the MacBook. That's probably what's been causing the problem. Oh, it's just on the shit everywhere, man. God, I'm in such a bitchy preteen ex-girlfriend mood right now. So please do bear with me. Anyway, let's plug this in. That's what she said. Anyway, this is the first in a series. How many times have I said that over the past couple of years? And it's never really gone too far. And I've noticed that I keep slowing and stopping on camera, so I do apologise if that's happening on the stream. I can't be fucked stopping this, deleting it, and then recording the video. So you're going to have to grin and bear it. And if anyone in the comments wants to let me know how this is going, then I'm more than happy to accept them and do nothing about it. So today we're doing a little bit of a. Am I actually working right now? You can probably hear my laptop as well making a sound. Okay. Give this a try. Anyway, let's refresh it and go back in. Let's see what's going on. Go back in. See what's going on. Yeah, it seems to be skipping on a. Against him, but I got Okay, it wasn't even added in the fucking. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This series is going off to a great start. So yeah, this is basically. I'm just going to cut some pace and knock the microphone while I do it because why not? We're going to be pitting the New England IPA from Cloudwater versus Brewdog, or Brewdog versus Cloudwater, with the New England IPA from Magic Rock, Luminance. Now, this was my favourite of the first batch of beers that got to Tesco's this year as part of that £3, per 440ml. I was a little bit miffed that I could never get hold of the North beer, the Osmosis. I can't remember what it was called, but I heard that was really damn good. But yeah, first time I had this was on like the day of its launch or whatever. And I was hungover after a night out in Manchester, so I was walking around Manchester city centre, absolutely, clenching my arse cheeks not to ooze liquid shit, because that's what happens when I drink. And yeah, it was like a dirty stop out, and it felt really damn good. So that's when I first had that. I've had it a few times since, and then of course with this, I've been singing its praises a lot. And I'm not sure if I got disconnected beforehand, but I want to say a massive thank you to Terry for tuning in and leaving a comment. I hope the stream's going okay now. We shall see. It's probably going to crash. It's probably going to kick me out. It's probably going to just make my MacBook die. But oh well, such is life. Anyway, I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm having a few beers. So what's it matter? So I'm not going to go into detail about both beers because I've already reviewed them. But even though I've not written it down in the description, I'll put the links to both reviews so you can find out a little bit more about each one. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get these opened and see what we get. So the New England IPA from Brewdog and Cloudwater is clocking in at 6.8%. I was going to do it in brand appropriate glasswares. Well, I kind of am for the Brewdog beer. But I don't know where the hell my Magic Rock glass has gone. So I've got a feeling somebody smashed it when they were trying to clean it. It's never just like the everyday glasses that get broken in this house. It's always the fucking. I'm sorry about my language. It's always the bloody beer glasses that get smashed. Anyway, I'm knocking the microphone. Sorry. So, looking at Luminance, which is at 6.5%, so 0.3% difference between each one. So I'm using my Regensburg Craft Beer Festival glass for this one. Here we go. Let's get them poured in. Basically, no matter what the outcome of this video, moral of the story is Tesco's doing a great job, and I'm happy to put money into Tesco's buying these beers because they've been really damn good so far. Anyway, so let's see what we get with each one. There's not much difference when you look at them on camera. Both got pretty much the same level of sort of turbidity. I know that's not a proper word, but it should be. The Cloudwater looks a little bit more creamier, a little more paler, but they've still got pretty much the same colour. That sort of like peach sort of puree or mango puree. That just looks a little bit darker. Does the Magic Rock one? Head are pretty much the same head, to be honest. Same shade of white, same consistency. This one settled down a little bit more than this one. So let's see what we get on the nose for each one of them. Interesting. There's a difference between both of them already, and I've realised I can actually put comments onto the screen, can't I? So got Joe Gansel, who says hi, buddy, and that reminds me, I need to get the next installment of coffee and comments uploaded, even though fucking Harry from Blue Nose Beer Reviews has literally stolen the title and concept. Fucking hate that guy. And I'm meeting up with him and Dean and Craig. We're all gonna fucking twat Harry. We really are. But yeah, there's a difference between each one. It's not night and day difference. This has got a little bit more of the Cloudwater's got a little bit more of a citrusy sort of character. This is really like dank down, deep and earthy. Do you know what I mean? A little bit more savoury on the nose. But hi, Joe. Hope you're doing okay. And what are you both drinking, Joe and Terry? If you are drinking anything on a Tuesday evening. But yeah, this is a little bit more vibrancy in the Brewdog Cloudwater beer. But yeah, this is like savoury, oniony, garlicky dankness. Just they're both really nice. And together they're smelling really nice as well. And I've realised when you're doing a video like this, I've got to do a cuvee at some point. So I'm going to quickly get another glass. We'll use the Wonder Beyond glass because it's smaller. I can swirl it around easier. But we'll save that towards the end. So yeah, both look pretty much the same. This looks a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more light, but both have that same like turbid character. And when you put them there, it's really there's not much in it between them. Head on both has pretty much subsided to the same amounts. Yeah, it's almost like the same beer, which is a redundant statement with beers like this, but yeah. I think out of the two, this is the one that smells a little bit more appetizing than the Cloudwater Brewdog one. But this, I don't know, when you get a really big sniff, this is much more satisfying. It's like two different beasts, but they're the same animal. Do you know what I mean? That's not a term I thought it was when I was saying it in my head before it came out my mouth. I mean, first things first, let's actually go back to the cans themselves. I remember when this first came out, I'm sure it was a rap label that was on there. But yeah, the Brewdog, classic, Brewdog sort of look to it. A little bit corporate, although I do like the Versus artwork. I like the Brewdog artwork. I like their sort of style in general, to be honest. Joe says coffee because I have to go to yeah, to be honest. With you on that one. Although you can drink energy drinks like Red Bull and things like that and feel sick and get a headache. But God forbid you have one beer during your workday. I suppose it all depends on who you're working for, I guess. But yeah, I think the artwork on the Magic Rock from Drew Millwood is it's definitely the more appealing. Although the colour scheme on the Brewdog and Cloudwater is really quite nice. So yeah, your thoughts, opinions to anyone who's watching this, whether it's live or as this gets uploaded to YouTube for playback, on all aspects of it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions. Anyway, so both are smelling and looking really good. Let's give them a taste. I'm going to start off with the Magic Rock because it's a little lighter on the ABV. So cheers, guys. Yeah, this is definitely a much more savoury sort of IPA. Big herbal notes coming through. It's got quite a sharp bitterness to it. Yeah, very savoury. I'm not going to lie, this isn't how I remember it tasting because it has been a few months since I've had Luminance. Yeah, it's got a stickiness to it, a little bit of a resiny sort of character. I've realised I've not got water to cleanse the palate, so disregard all opinions on the tastes of these beers or flavours of these beers. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but I'm sure there was a bit more of a fruity hop character coming from that when I first had it. Yeah, this is more dank, savoury sort of flavours, but still good though. So interesting. Anyway, here's the Cloudwater and Brewdog. Keep Forgetting to say Brewdog in this, and just saying Cloudwater. So yeah, let's give this a taste. Instantly, there's a lot more going on with this beer. Although there's a slight medicinal character coming through it, which I don't think I picked up on previous cans. Now, I know this is a flawed test anyway because I've not cleansed the palate. It's not long since I've eaten. But at the same time, is that not the best gauge to get the taste of beer when you're eating? Because, I do drink a lot more than I probably should do. I don't think it's anywhere near to where it be considered problematic. It doesn't, affect my everyday life. I can still go about my business. I don't have to cancel plans because of hangovers. I'm never missed a day of work because of drinking. Never had to worry about that sort of stuff. I don't use this as a crutch. I'm not dependent on it. I'll drink a beer when I'm really in the mood to drink a beer. But there are weeks where it's almost maybe one beer a day, which I think there's really nothing wrong with that. I think society's got such a strange view on it. It's okay for someone to smoke like half a packet of cigarettes a day, although they do get stigmatized. Anything like that gets stigmatized. But people who smoke on that like sort of level a day, like where it's half a pack, they won't get stigmatized as much as someone who like enjoys a couple of beers after work or that sort of thing. So I think there's a sort of skewed view about alcohol. I mean, don't get me wrong. The problems that can happen because of alcoholism. So many people get taken away from this world so young because of alcohol dependency. Plus, it's expensive, so it's costing me a load of money. But I don't know what point I'm making here. But yeah, food with beer. So that should probably be the most like that should be the time to drink, unless you're having a session with friends and that sort of thing, or a day out. Is drinking with food to accompany it and have an all-encompassing experience. So I don't think what I had to eat is affecting my experience with these beers, because I think enough time has passed, and I have had some juice before, and after I'd eaten, and finished the rest of my Pepsi. But yeah, I can't remember what point I was making. But yeah, this has definitely got much more going on about it. It's a lot more vibrant. It's a lot more flavorful. But this is down and dirty, which I do like about it. It's a lot more sticky. The body on each beer, let's give that a test. That's interesting. There's much less carbonation in this. I'm actually at the point now where I think this might not be the best can of Luminance. It might be slightly oxidized, because I'm sure that this was a different tasting beer when I first had it. But yeah, there's a little bit less carbonation in this one compared to the Cloudwater Brewdog, which adds a little bit more of a sort of silky smoothness to it. But both of them have nice bodies. They really do. It's like trying to pick, uh, between Christina Hendricks and Riley Reid. Do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, you can have one, but then you're missing out on the other one. Which actually reminds me, Randomly, I follow Riley Reid on Instagram, and on her, I think it was on her like OnlyFans or premium Snapchat. I think her and another person essentially did a Jamie Gillis and went on the prowl and solicited sex from a guy in McDonald's. Stuff like that doesn't happen to me when I'm in McDonald's or if I'm, sitting there having a drink on a day out. I just get looked at and judged. But no, this guy's just, going about his business, having his Big Mac. It was probably staged. And he's just, enjoying his food. And next thing you know, POV shot in the back of a car. There's worse things in life. But my point is, body-wise, I mean, Christine Hendricks, much more robust in terms of figure. A redhead always helps. But Riley Reid, there's a cheekiness about her. I'm not going to go any further because this is getting really fucking creepy now and pervy. But Riley, if you're watching, fuck off, Pierre. Yeah, it's a little less carbonation, this, but it adds to the sort of creamy, smoothie like character. Whereas this, I think this has got the more satisfying body overall. So I think by now we've got enough information to know which is the better out of the two. For me personally, it's got to be Brewdog and Cloudwater's New England IPA. Every can of this I've had, and I think I've had about 5 or 6 now, has just been absolutely spot on. I mean, I've had a couple of Cloudwater's other beers recently, yesterday, because I had 2. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be... It's Tuesday now. I already had a beer while I was cooking food. I had a burnt mill beer. So, we're on Tuesday now, and this is technically my 4th and 5th beer of the week, which is completely fine. I still think that's acceptable in terms of consumption. But then I look down at the beer gut. I catch a glimpse in the mirror after I've had a shower. I look at clothes that look really good on the rack, and then I look at the clothes when they're hanging off my rack, and I think I am drinking a little bit too much and not exercising enough. So, yeah, self-deprecation. I'm a master at that. But, yeah, it's like... Don't get me wrong, I had probably one of the best Cloudwater beers I've ever had yesterday, which was a double IPA. I mean, am I going to be expecting that sort of beer in the supermarket? No. Is this Cloudwater far off? Do you know what? No. I've had Cloudwater IPAs both on tap at the tap room in Manchester and also in various locations when I've been going around drinking, and also by picking up cans and that sort of thing. I've had some really highly regarded Cloudwater, one-off releases that actually don't shine a candle to this. And I tell you what, this is one of Brewdog's best beers that they've done in a while. East Coast Crush, which was like a beer that they developed for the Co-op, was the best pale. I think it was a pale ale. That was like mega, absolutely mega. So, it's so easy to piss on Brewdog. And a lot of the times, rightfully so. I'm not going to lie. But it'll always be a staple of my trip to Manchester. I'll always pop into a Brewdog in a city that I'm in. Elvis Juice, although I've not had it for a while. So maybe there'll be a little bit of a grapefruit IPA pale ale face-off at some point. I've not had that for a while. Punk IPA, it fluctuates. Sometimes it's really fruity. Sometimes it has a tropical vibe about it, and sometimes it's just, it's all right. Although I want to do Punk IPA paired with Pringles, sour cream and onion chip. Pringles, yeah, sour cream and onion Pringles. Because I think I've already told the story, but when I was flying to Germany a few weeks ago, because EasyJet now do Punk IPA, where you can get 2 cans for £8 on the flight. And I was drinking my Punk IPA. Now, granted, when you're up in the air in a plane, your taste buds change. Your perception of flavour changes because of the altitude and, of course, the compression in the cabin and that sort of stuff. But I was drinking this Punk IPA, and I was smelling the waft, that familiar waft of sour cream and onion Pringles, and I was like, this is actually working, and I'm just smelling the Pringles. But yeah, Brewdog, I think, still produce some absolutely mega imperial stouts. I think out of the like 50 last 50 times I've been to Brewdogs, I've been disappointed like 3 or 4 times. There's always going to be some interesting beers that they've brewed, and then of course their guest tap lists and takeovers and stuff like that in the fridges. But yeah, so Brewdog I've still got a lot of time for, and they do really great merch as well. But yeah, I mean, the New England IPA from Brewdog and Cloudwater, I mean, you can buy that directly from Brewdog as well. And I don't think there's a difference between that beer and the one you're getting in Tesco's. There may well be. It might be a slightly toned down recipe. But you know what? I'm actually a little bit disappointed with Luminance today. I was expecting a bit of a better showing, to be honest. But it's not a bad beer. I just don't think I've got a can that's fully representative of this beer. Oh yeah, it's definitely more savoury. If you love your savoury IPAs that are just like turbid, sticky, resiny, earthy, dirty tasting, then you're going to really, really enjoy Luminance. You really, really are. But I don't think it's holding up to the New England IPA from Brewdog and Cloudwater. Anyway, I got a couple of comments. The first one from the Well and Piss Up, who says, "Cheers, wankers." I'm one person, so do not refer to me as plural, please. It's either he, cunt, or plural. Never plural, I should say. Get me pronouns mixed up. What are you doing to me? Then we've got Joe Cans, who says, "Have a good one, buddy. I've got to get ready for work. I have a beer for tonight." You'll have to let me know what you're drinking tonight then, Joe. Always interested to hear that. And I will be responding to all your comments and everyone else watching this from my previous videos, which I still actually need to upload thumbnails. Yeah, it's just my activity on YouTube is really, I've just like uploaded videos in advance and just completely forgotten to add thumbnails. And there's a lot of beers that are really relevant right now, which should be uploaded because people are still buying those beers. But yeah, it's crazy how many beer reviews I delete before I put them online because I'm thinking, what is the point in me posting this review when it's completely irrelevant? It's probably never going to be brewed again. See, a lot of stuff I like to review because it's got longevity, because you'll be able to get it throughout the year, or each year they might do a different variation on that. But a lot of the sort of like limited release stuff, a lot of it's just like, well, what's the point of me uploading this now? People will have forgot this beer has existed. But then again, I'm like thinking, but are you really in it for the numbers? Because if I was in it for the numbers, then I'd be failing pretty damn hard. Okay, and then we've got a comment from Luke 999. I can't read properly. I'm getting a bit of double vision. I'm not going to lie. So the numbers at the end of your name, Luke, I've completely forgotten. I do apologise. It says, "Evening, Peter. Evening, Luke. Hope you're doing okay, my friend. And if you're having a drink, then fair enough. And if you're not, you're very sensible because it's Tuesday night." But yeah, the best beer out of these two for me is the New England IPA from Brewdog versus Cloudwater. I'm still flabbergasted. Who says flabbergasted? I'm still amazed at how good that beer is for the supermarkets. It's ridiculous. Luminance, it's still a good beer. I'm still going to buy that can every now and then. Let's see what the date is on this. So this was best before date is the 13th of August 2020. Ugh. People texting me and phoning me. Can't be asked. And then the Cloudwater, who is 16th of March 2020. See, I've forgotten. I'd imagine Cloudwater are doing theirs with a little bit of a lesser shelf life. I'm not sure if Magic Rock do with the 1 year shelf life, which is pretty #standard. But that being said, it doesn't taste like it's like stale. I think at most it's a little bit oxidized, but I'm getting enough flavour from it to compare it to the Cloudwater to know that the Cloudwater is still the better beer out of the two. But yeah, I've still got mad love for Magic Rock. I still really enjoy what they do. I mean, Common Grounds. Oh my god, I had a couple of cans of that recently, and it was like falling back in love with someone who you'd lost contact with. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, you know, Hot Chocolates. It all started with a kiss was playing in the background. Do you know what I mean? Trouser tent moment. Not really. Nobody wants to visualize that. But yeah, Magic Rock, I've still got a hell of a lot of time for. But I do not craft anymore. Who gives a fuck, really? Do you know what I mean? Some of my favourite beers of all time aren't craft. They're from macro companies who just produce really good beers. Anyway, let's do a little bit of a cuvee. And I'm actually getting pestered by a friend from work because she wants to go out for a cigarette. So, and she won't stop messaging for fucking ages. So, yeah, she's phoning me right now. But she can wait a minute. It's just a cigarette. Anyway, so I think we'll start off with a little bit of the luminance. Have the base with the bulk of the earthy flavour. Then we'll pour a bit of the Cloudwater in there as well. I think that's about 50-50, maybe 60-40. Let's give it a bit of a swirl, get all of that goodness there. There we go. Let's compare that to the others. Such a horrible way to hold a glass, Peter. Yeah, it actually looks a lot more turbid and chunkier when you put both beers together. Yeah, that's looking thick. Head doesn't change. Colour doesn't really change too much. So let's give it a sniff. Interesting. Very interesting. It's not as earthy. It's got a little bit of a citrusy character. It's like the best of both flavours coming together. On the nose, I've got a spot-on blend there. # blend skills on fleek. So let's see what we get on the flavour. Pardon me. You guys should definitely cuvee these two beers. You really fucking should. You should blend these two beers. Oh, it's sticky, resiny, but tropical and citrusy. That is ridiculous. How has that changed so much? Magic Rock, Cloudwater. Drinking these at room temperature now, but who gives a fuck? Mm. Oh, wow. That is really fascinating. It's like taking on a completely different shape now. Okay, that was a really fucking good cuvee. Cuvées by me are usually absolutely disgusting. But that worked really well. It really, really did. We ended on a high there, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, let's look at ourselves. There's no ladies watching these videos. Yeah, so my analysis. I think out of the two beers, the New England IPA by Brewdog and Cloudwater, it tops it. Best supermarket beer that I've tried. I know a lot of people are saying the Wildebeest from Wild Beer Co., which I can't get hold of now, so I'll never know is the best. Especially £2.50 for an Imperial Stout. Are you fucking kidding me, bruv? Don't say bruv. Never say bruv if you've got a pale complexion. It's odd when you say it anyway, but oh my god, stop messaging me. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm just shocked at how well that worked. So I think I'll be conveying the rest of that. But yeah, it's amazing. What moral of the story is: go to your local Tesco's, preferably the bigger ones because they'll have the bigger range. If you see the New England IPA by Brewdog and Cloudwater, definitely pick up as many cans as you can. Although be warned, because when it's oxidized, it's awful. Because I've had a few people now who I know who wouldn't let bias or bullshit cloud their judgment, who've had really bad cans of it. So it is prone to being pretty shitty, to be honest. But luckily, touch wood, I've not had any bad cans of this. They've just all tasted consistently wonderful. But if you can't find the Brewdog and Cloudwater, then you're not going to be too upset if this is your next option. And it's still up there. Maybe I'll have to revisit this a few months down the line if I could get some fresher cans. But both these beers, highly recommended you give them a try. But out of the two, it's the Cloudwater and Brewdog beer. And if you want to cuvee them, you've got a good combination there, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, slurring my words already, and I'm not even drinking that much so far. I've got quite a few double IPAs and stuff that need to be drank, and I might do them tonight, but I'll feel awful tomorrow, and I've got stuff to do tomorrow, even if I'm not in work. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, so if you've tried either of these beers, let me know your thoughts, opinions. If you've compared these or compared any of the other New England style IPAs from the supermarkets, doesn't have to just be Tesco's. I know Tesco's are on the hype machine right now, rightfully so. By the way, I think I always forget the guy's name. I get the guy's name mixed up with the guy from Wyvern, and I always think of FOMO Simpson. Is that what his name is? The guy that I was going to say the guy with the beard from Wyvern, but they've all got fucking beards. They're all like manly men with great style and taste. Anyway, but yeah, the guy at Tesco's, follow him on Instagram. I'll put his link down below. He's done. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because Morrison's have followed suit with some of their beers that they've released recently. They kind of let themselves down with the craft beer festival or real ale festival that they did. But those beers that they brought out, we've got Siren and Tall Boys. We've got an Imperial Stout from Wild Beer Co. at £2.50. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But at the same time, support your local bottle shops, breweries, tap rooms, your favourite independent online retailers. Strike a nice balance between the two, because this is such a great industry, and we're so spoiled for choice. No matter what your price bracket, no matter what your taste, no matter what your geography is and stuff in your local vicinity, we are spoiled right now, and Tesco's are doing a great job of feeding that sickness and killing us all off slowly and painfully. Anyway, so yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions on this one. I think the next video I'm going to do is a grapefruit IPA showcase, but we'll throw a couple of pale ales in there as well. Probably have Magic Rocks, Highway Grapefruit, Elvis Juice, the one that Thornbridge did, Grapefruit Halcyon. Those are my three favourites out of that subgenre. So that'll probably be the next one. But you never know, it might be something completely different. And yeah, if you're interested in this series, or you've got any ideas for specific themes or beers to be pitted against each other, to hear my thoughts, opinions, always welcome in the comments down below. Massive thank you to Link? Fucking hell, it's this Legend of Zelda. Massive thank you to Luke. Massive thank you to Joe. Massive thank you to whoever it is logged into the Well and Piss Up channel right now. And also massive thank you to Terry for the comments, and to anybody who leaves a comment after the fact. And yeah, it's my mind. I need to record my comments and coffee video, because I've actually had a good influx of comments. I feel guilty that I'm not responded. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all next time. Cheers.